Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. An hours-long standoff in Philadelphia leaves several officers wounded, and we're learning this morning the department and the suspect's lawyer had to work together to finally bring it to an end.
They're sworn to serve and protect, and now they'll bear a new motto when they answer your call. We'll have a preview of the ceremony set for later today.
The heat wave continues as temperatures climb. How long will it last? Kevin Charette has your forecast. This is Thursday, August 15th, 2019. I'm great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
Well, Eli started kindergarten. How was it?
Did.
First day of school.
It was great. He didn't even look back.
So he's moved on. He's just like, yeah, he's grown up.
He could not be bothered to even look up from playing with his friends to say goodbye.
Yeah, he was ready for the first day of school. Well, that is exciting, though, for him, of course. That, it's got to be good for you to see him just walk off and be confident. And, of course, it was a hot first day of school for a lot of kids out there.
Absolutely, and that's going to continue, right, Kev?
Yeah, and just to let you know, I'm in good, everybody's happy with me yesterday, even though I woke them up. And take a look at this picture of Kate and Christina. This was after it was all said and done. I was headed out the door, and we took our picture. All smiles. They had a good time yesterday morning, and they also, I got a note yesterday, they had a great first day of school.
Okay.
And Kevin, guess what?
What?
So, Caden goes to Rosedale Middle School.
Right.
Well, my dad has him as a teacher.
Oh my gosh.
He goes,
yeah,
Caden is in my class. And I was just like, oh,
that's
so
hilarious.
Cool.
Yeah, I think both of them felt like superstars yesterday at school. One teacher said, hey, I know you. And Caden's like, well, I don't know you. And the teacher said, well, I saw you on TV. Oh, okay. So I hope everybody had a good day of first day of school. 77 degrees to start off our morning. It was a hot day yesterday. And, when we say that it's horrible when you lose power, you lose your AC, I was one of those last night. And I feel for everybody that has to deal with the heat without AC or swamp cooler or anything like that. So if you have family or friends that are dealing with that, make sure they're staying cool during these very hot times. 77 out there currently. And then as we take a look at the day here, we are going to rise again right near 105 by this evening. So it's going to be another hot one for everybody. Tehachapi, you're at 59 right now, a calm wind. And as we take a look at your temperatures throughout the day, rising to the upper 70s by 9, and we'll look at the 90s throughout the afternoon. We'll talk much more about your weather in just a little bit, but first, let's get a check of the morning commute. We'll send that over to Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Taking you outside for the first time this morning to the 99 near White Lane, and it's looking pretty clear on that side of town. Very clear. And it looks like everything else around the county is also looking pretty good to start off your Thursday morning. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
An hours-long standoff between police and a gunman in Philadelphia is finally over, and this morning we're learning more about how it came to an end.
Shots fired inside.
It all started yesterday afternoon and came to an end some 7 hours later. Police say officers went to serve a narcotics warrant at a home in North Philly. That's when they were met with a flood of bullets from a gunman barricaded inside. 6 officers were shot, 2 others trapped inside. A lawyer for the gunman identified him as Maurice Hill. Shaka Johnson, the Hill's lawyer, says the pair are close and Hill wouldn't come out unless Johnson was at the house. He says he told Hill a deadline for him to be able to walk out peacefully was fast approaching, and that put Hill in a panic.
I could sense he was panicking and trying to figure out, how do I get out of this situation alive? When I say get out, I'm inside of a home. The police are waiting for me. I've got national attention. Social media is going crazy. It was a perfect storm for a bunch of different outcomes. And so I really want to thank the Philadelphia Police Department with respect to their patience that they instituted.
Shortly after 9 p.m. California time, a SWAT officer fired tear gas into the home and Hill surrendered. All of the officers hurt are expected to be okay.
A grim discovery near a North Bakersfield park. Bakersfield police got a call last night about a body in the riverbed west of Chester Avenue. That's near Riverview Park. BPD says the body is a man. It's unknown how he died, so BPD is calling the death suspicious. The coroner will release the man's identity at a later time. If you have any information about the case, you're asked to call police at 327-7111.
It's going to be a hot one today in the Golden Empire. That means cooling centers in several cities will be open to help people beat the heat. We checked, and cooling centers are open today in Bakersfield, Arvin, Shafter, Taft, and Ridgecrest. The centers open their doors when the mercury rises to 105 degrees or higher in the valley and 108 degrees in the desert.
It's 5:05 now, and starting today, you'll notice something new on Bakersfield police and fire vehicles. This decal right here. You may remember back in June, the City Council approved adding these in God We Trust decals. BPD says private donations paid for the decals. And this morning, the departments are holding an event to commemorate the addition of the decals. It's happening at 11:30 on Buena Vista Road between the BPD West Side Substation and Fire Station 15.
5:05 now. Meantime, Bakersfield City Council setting some new goals, and 17's Karen Hua was at last night's meeting and has a breakdown of what they are and how they'll be implemented.
Among the goals on City Council's list, boosting public safety, mitigating homelessness, and improving Bakersfield's image. All of them unanimously passed.
Motion is unanimously approved.
Going forward, there are 8 primary goals for Bakersfield.
We have measurable objectives that are time-bound.
Among them, boost public safety by hiring 100 new BPD officers in the next 3 years, improve our parks, roads, and downtown area, and rebrand Bakersfield more positively. But the main issue on many minds,
when you have more homelessness, you're going to have more crime.
With more than 600 homeless people estimated in Bakersfield, City Council is working to increase capacity at current shelters and create a new shelter with fewer rules for entry.
We need a shelter that's low barrier. We need a shelter that will address people's concerns, the 3 Ps, the pets, the partners, and the possessions.
But some say these goals were voted on too late, when the year is halfway over and after Measure N funds were already allocated last month.
Some of the issues, especially those funded by Measure N, don't wait a year. Some things require monthly reporting, maybe quarterly reporting.
So some council members are calling for improvements next year.
Begin working on this much earlier, so if we can incorporate that into our planning.
For a full list of these goals, head to our website, kget.com. I'm Karen Hua, 17 News.
Dozens of inmates were injured during a fight at the correctional facility in Soledad. It happened yesterday morning. The State Department of Corrections says some 200 inmates began fighting in the yard. The CDCR says most inmates complied with guards after they fired warning shots. In all, 58 inmates were hurt and 8 of them were taken to the hospital. No prison staff were hurt. Guards did recover 4 homemade weapons after the fight.
It's been 2.5 weeks since the Gilroy mass shooting. 3 people were killed, a dozen others hurt, and the community continues to rally around the victims and each other. Along with prayers and support, money's pouring in at a staggering rate for the victims. Yesterday, the total amount passed $1 million. Some large, other donations smaller, from lemonade stands and local businesses just trying to help. The Gilroy Foundation's dispersing the money. Shooting victims can fill out applications for medical bills and other needs, and they hope the turnaround will take less than 10 days.
All right, it is 5:08 now, and still ahead this morning on Sunrise. New estimates about the damage and destruction caused by the Ridgecrest earthquakes. Just how much money is needed for repairs at the China Lake Naval Base.
And a shakeup in Shafter turns out not to be so much of a shakeup after all. What we've learned about the vacancy in the city manager's office. Local foster kids now have more than a dozen new advocates looking out for their best interests. Yesterday, 16 CASAs, or court-appointed special advocates, were sworn in during a graduation ceremony in downtown Bakersfield. CASA volunteers are appointed by a juvenile court judge to assess the current circumstances of an abused or neglected child and then report those findings and speak on the child's behalf in court.
We're so excited and we're so happy that there are community members out there willing to step up and be a voice for these children, but there's always a need for more. And I encourage anyone out there listening that may have an inkling in their heart to help a foster child to please go online to kerncasa.org to find out more.
This is the 82nd CASA graduating class. The organization recently served its 3,000th child.
We're just 2 days away. This Saturday, KGET and Telemundo Valley Central are teaming up with the Bakersfield Animal Care Center to help find homeless pets forever homes. It's part of a nationwide pet adoption drive that NBC stations nationwide participate in every year. And 17's Amber Frias has a preview of Clear the Shelters.
More than 1,400 shelters across the nation are registered to participate in this year's National Clear the Shelters campaign, including the Bakersfield Animal Care Center.
It's just truly a community event. And even if you don't find your forever, pet that day, it gives everyone the opportunity to see all of the great things we're doing out here.
The Bakersfield shelter will be waiving adoption fees on all its animals. Vendors, food trucks, and music will also be part of the event.
We have so much stuff for everybody. And of course, more importantly than anything, we have these incredible adoptable pets that are just looking for their forever home.
This is the shelter's third year participating. Executive Director Julie Johnson says more pets are adopted on this day than the entire year. She says last year they were able to get nearly 250 pets adopted, and the year before that, they got 350.
When we get at the end of the event and we get to walk down those kennel aisles and see those empty kennels, it's amazing. It is like Christmas. It is like the best present you could ever ask for, because we know that all of these animals got their second chance.
So if you're looking for a new friend, you know where to find it. And unlike the pet store, these pets are ready to go.
So we've put them through the vaccine process. They've been dewormed, they're flea treated, they're microchipped, they're fixed.
There is one thing organizers ask of you if you're hoping to take home a pet.
And we do ask, more importantly than anything, that you actually have a vehicle with air conditioning if you are going to come down to this event to adopt. We don't want to take an animal and put it in a hot car, one. We don't want animals walking on the hot pavement that day. It is going to still be hot. And so we want to make sure that our animals are protected as well, leaving the shelter as much as we want them adopted.
Amber Frias, 17 News.
And Clear the Shelters is Saturday from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the City of Bakersfield Animal Care Center on Mount Vernon Avenue. Again, all adoption fees will be waived, but you will be responsible for your pet's registration fees. So please come on out if you can on Saturday.
Absolutely. We hope to clear it out.
Yep.
All right, 522. Can you stay in the orange zone?
Yeah, just ahead in your business watch. We'll tell you when the new Orange Theory Fitness Studio is opening and when you can get a sneak peek at classes.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
After a sharp drop in the markets yesterday, Wall Street's indicated to open higher this morning as the markets will look to recover some of yesterday's big losses. Let's go ahead and take a live look at stock market futures now. Yesterday, the Dow suffered its worst day of the year, down 800 points. The Nasdaq also fell sharply, dropping 3%. And yesterday, longer-term U.S. Treasuries fell below shorter-term government bonds, something known as an inverted yield curve. It's something that could signal a recession is on the horizon, but more than likely several months from now. But economists say, like most indicators, it isn't perfect and say it's a reason for caution, not panic. There's a health kick happening in Bakersfield. Several new health clubs and stores are opening this week. One of them, Orange Theory Fitness. The studio is opening along Stockdale Highway, and there's a VIP party happening tomorrow. Classes begin Saturday. Orange Theory has locations across the country and is known for offering group personal training workouts while monitoring your heart rate and other metrics, pushing you to reach the orange zone for exertion to maximize results. Coming up in just about 10 minutes, we'll check in with Vanessa Dillon, who will be live at Orange Theory ahead of the grand opening with a taste of what workouts there are like. Another business known for its yoga and athletic wear you might wear to Orange Theory is opening this week in Bakersfield, too. Lululemon had a showroom in downtown Bakersfield, but that's closed because in just 24 hours, a new store will open at the Marketplace on Ming Avenue. The store is planning a 3-day grand opening celebration that starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.